What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jamal. Hope you guys are all doing well. Now, I know it's been a minute since I made a video. Honestly, I've just been so busy with school and stuff. I haven't been able to do a lot of car stuff lately. But today we are actually working on the car, hence the Mustang shirt. So, if you guys remember a couple videos back when I thought I had a power steering, or not a power steering, a coolant leak in my car, I replaced a water pump, and it was in, ever since I replaced the water pump, it still has been leaking. And this is kind of where I admit some fault on myself. It turns out it actually wasn't coolant that was leaking. It was power steering fluid that was leaking. So basically it was leaking onto the driver's side like a leaf spring mount. And it was leaking off of that onto the floor and it'll leave a little puddle in the garage. And so I was kind of tampering with it a bit the other day, like checking fluid levels and stuff. And I opened the power steering reservoir cap to check it out. And I guess it's pressurized. And so the next day when I drove my car to work, there was like a puddle of power steering fluid on the car, and so I started looking at it more closely, and it turns out it's actually the line that goes from the power steering pump to the rack that's leaking. Now it's called the high pressure line, I believe. Scruff's Garage on YouTube, if you guys know who he is, he does a really good job explaining how the power steering system works on these cars. But basically, this line right here, this is the replacement line I got from Rock Auto. Honestly, shout out Rock Auto. This is kind of off topic, but this line is like $40, I think, new, but rockauto.com had it for $19, and this is like an OEM AC Delco line. But anyways, I think this line, like the way it is, sits in the car, it's kind of up like that on to the power steering pump here, and then this side connects into the power steering rack. And so I think it's leaking from somewhere on here, but the way this line runs is it runs right over the leaf spring on the front of the car, and so anything like drips off of here onto the leaf spring, and then from the leaf spring it works its way down and it leaks off onto the floor. And so I guess power steering fluid has a little bit like reddish orange tint to it, and so that's what my leak has been this entire time. I haven't been able to find it. Like it would just drip a few drips a week, and so it wasn't like a big deal. I wasn't too concerned about it. But since I did take that cap off the reservoir and kind of like depressurized it, I guess, it left that huge puddle, and so it led me to further investigate it, and I found that it was a line. So today we are going to attempt to replace this line, so stay tuned, let's get started. Alrighty guys, so apart from a standard set of tools, ratchet wrenches and stuff like that, I got some specialty stuff. So this is OEM AC Delco power steering fluid. I got the Chevy dealer, that was like $8. We got some brake parts cleaner from O'Reilly's, that was like, I think it was like 2 for $6, so you know your boy had to buy 2. We got the OEM power steering line. These are O-rings here for the 2 ends. Definitely replace these every time you replace it. You don't want to go through all this trouble and then have it leak from an O-ring. And then we have these specialty, I think they're called crow's feet wrenches. These are flared as well to kind of help get around this part up here, because it's a very tight area. A lot of people online recommend using something like this. It's a 16 millimeter nut, but the metric set that Harbor Freight had didn't have a 16 millimeter, so I got the SA one, and we have a 5/8 one here, so hopefully this one should work. It's a little bit bigger than a 16 millimeter, but it should be fine. So definitely gonna need one of those, and I think that apart from that, that's all you really need. So I'm gonna get the car jacked up, and then I'll update you guys there. Now, to get the line off from the rack side, we're going to have to go through the driver's side fender well, so I'm going to take my wheel off now. These lug nuts are 19 millimeter if you have OE lugs. I don't, so I'm going to use my key here to get these lug nuts off and to take the wheel off. Alright guys, so inside the fender well now, you can kind of see the line that has to be replaced. It's right there. It goes up and over the pinion, and you can see the mess it's created down there. You can kind of see like the power steering fluid on like the leaf spring and stuff behind it. It's kind of like glowing, and you just kind of see it's just been sitting there for a while now, I guess, and it's like gone black and just not a good deal in general. So let's see how we're gonna get this off. And kind of from the top, you can actually get a better view of the fitting there. That's the one, that top one, that we have to undo to get the line off. Alright guys, so I gave up on trying to do the one on the rack side for now. So we're gonna try to do the one on the pump side. As you can see, there's a line there. We're underneath the car. For reference, the leaf spring is like right here. And right in front of the leaf spring, on the driver's side, that's the piece we need to get off right there. But I'm gonna stick my 5/8 crow's feet on there and see if I can get it off. I'll update you guys in a bit. I was able to get it using the mother of all extensions here. So basically I got the crow's foot attached to the line down here. See if you can see it. It's still stuck on there right now. Let's see. Yeah, you can see, okay, so you can see it down there. I got it attached and I went from the bottom and used that really long extension and I was able to break it free. So right now my little crow's foot is stuck on. So I'm gonna try to loosen it by hand and see if I can get it out. So I'll check back in after this. I just spent forever trying to get that crow foot off of that fitting. But I finally ended up just throwing my hands up there. Since it was broken, it was pretty loose, so I put one arm through where the leaf spring is, and then I put another arm up and like over the rack, kind of like from the radiator side, and I was able to get two hands on it and turn the fitting and was able to pull it down. So if you have like large arms or large hands, that's probably not going to be a possibility. You're probably going to have to find a different way to do it, but I was able to unscrew it by hand and pull it down. So now we're going to try to get the one by the rack off. If worst thing comes to worst, I'll probably just cut the freaking line and stick a socket on the end and take it off. So let's see if this will be any easier than it was before. So I was actually able to break this one loose. This one was a pain in the you-know-what. So I went through this part here, and basically where I went through, I stuck my little adjustable wrench on that bolt. Let me try to kind of demonstrate it for you. So I came through here. As you can see there, I got my little adjustable wrench and stuck it on the fitting. And then I kind of had to like go here and take my like jack handle and kind of pry. Anyways, yeah, I was able to pry my adjustable wrench like up against the frame almost over here, and I was able to break that fitting loose. So now it's loose, and I can just like, it's like hand tight once you break it. So you just undo it by hand and pull it off. As I finally got the line out, now I think it was leaking from somewhere over here where the hose comes together on the top part of it. And I also think it would have been a lot easier to get this fitting here on the rack side off if I had the correct 18mm crow foot wrench, but I didn't. Got it off anyways. It was kind of a pain. Shouldn't have taken as long as it did, but you know how it is whenever you're working on cars. So to reinstall a line, I'm just going to do the opposite of what I just showed you guys. Make sure to install these new O-rings here and here, and that's pretty much going to do it. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope you guys did learn something. I'm going to cut it off here because I need to put it back together. It's getting kind of late. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.